Hi guys, Malice here. I'm just going to talk about the latest patch that's come out on Watcher of Realms. So there's been quite a lot of frustration surrounding it, and some of it is justified, very justified, and some of it isn't. So I'm just going to basically try and sum up the majority of the points which people are finding hard to get their head around why it happened. Just basically as some constructive, and try and add in some constructive feedback for the developers to see specifically what's causing issues. So where to start basically. So I guess we'll start with Tide, seeing as there's a big red dot there. So again, it's been reset. I'm not sure why. They've added extra talents in, the peak talents. I assume they come after you complete the whole of this set, and you'll be able to do peak talents. What I don't understand is why it had to be reset again. So the challenge level of the last one was actually, it was hard. I mean, like, it's not difficult to do. You obviously just put your units down, and if they're strong enough, then they go through or not. But people could actually get to the end of the track. So if they wanted to add extra levels, which they've done now, all they had to do was not reset the progress of everybody, which is frustrating, even if it gives you new rewards again. They just had to add the peak talents in and the extra levels. So it's just something, so it's going to be a bit of a theme that goes through each of this, and it's going to just be, everything becomes very time consuming. And obviously stupid pop-up ads, very annoying as well. Anyway, everything's becoming pretty time consuming, and I don't understand why. Next thing I'm going to talk about is, so just a quick one, changes to the shop. So there's now 4 free refreshes, which I guess is nice. An awakening shop, you can no longer exchange blue units for the tokens for this, the Epic Sage Soulstone, which personally for me, I don't mind the change. I know some people find it frustrating, but I don't mind the change. I think the mistake was that they ever made it so that you could sell blues for that in the first place, generally because it breaks their gacha system and their awakening system. If they wanted it to be slower progress, or progress literally made just through the summons, they never should have given it the option for a farmable blue unit to be traded in for upgrading purples basically. But everyone's going to see that slightly differently. I personally don't mind it. Granted, I'm already at a point where most of the good units are done, so obviously that might be swaying my decision a bit, but I still think they never should have made that change in the first place. That's my opinion on that. Other than that, I think at shop's pretty much the same. Oh, they have added Insignia of Mages, which is nice, so I don't have to farm the blues and the purples of the really long raid. The promotion raid for the Insignia of Mages is exceptionally long, and I don't know why. Another time consuming issue. Moving on. Okay, so guild boss. They said they changed something about guild features as well, or guild rankings, and I'm not sure I've noticed anything. I haven't looked 100% into that, so I can't say for sure. Guild boss though, I have no idea what's going on here. Before patch, my guild and everybody could easily, well, not everybody, but the majority of people who were doing Nightmare 3 could hit over 6,500. Ronin, for example, was doing it before. I was doing it before. Like I said, majority of my guild was doing it before and killing Nightmare 3 basically. And yesterday I attempted it, and I only hit 5,100. And as a guild, we only got, I don't think we even got him over 50%. So obviously they made it more difficult. Granted, we've lost the set bonus from what we generally would have had before when we were using the Infernal set with the piercer gloves. But so when I did my test run, I used Shield Breaker set, the new set, which is supposed to do 15% more damage to shields, and it turned out that all my units did worse damage than people who run the old sets, where the set bonus of the Infernal / Piercer is broken, but they still had the 2 ancient myth gears. So at the moment, until I get new gear to test out, it's still better to run the old sets. So I have no idea why they've added this in when people can't even come close to clearing this one. I have no idea. Where they got 20,000 from is beyond me. Like, I think they've seen the one guy on Discord who can do it because he's got the broken Hippo weapon from a year ago or so. But no one else can. Literally no one's going to be able to hit that. We can't even clear this at the moment. Damage has been severely nerfed. I'm not sure why. The shield stage seems incredibly difficult to get through, having to pop specials at it constantly to get through. So that's a bit of a frustration, but we'll work on it and see what sets work, if any, at all. Gallery changes is fine. The 10 gems go in with nothing, and to get better items is, better, so get some stats up for your units is, sure, I'm fine with it. It seems alright. Where to next? Okay, so I'm gonna go into heroes, and I'm going to look firstly at skills. I'll get to gear in a little bit. Skills, it's a nice change. So they've actually made it cheaper overall on the legendary skill dust. So you can actually not get tons and tons of the skill crystals to not much dust anymore. It seems about even. And I managed to, with yesterday's tide reset, completely max out 3 units. So that is a positive change. Thank you for that. So gear, where do you start? I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna start this off, and I'm gonna put a timer on it. So this is going to be an issue. It's going to be very time consuming. Another added time consuming method. Let's just find a semi decent new piece of gear. So a lot of the anger caused yesterday on Discord could have been easily solved with just a bit of proper communication about what changes were. So there was pictures of people upgrading old gear, gear gotten before these new sets came out, upgrading them and finding out that only the base substats, so you'd see these 5 bars, these blue bars, they'd always come out at the bottom end. Turns out only new gear can get decent rolls on it. Let me just find my Soulless Doll for an example. So this is one of the new pieces gears. So essentially it looks like it is possible to get better stats now than previously. Probably even better stats than myth gear. So just as an example, that's what she's wearing at the moment, and this is a ancient gear from pre-patch. As you can see, the values, they are random when you roll them, so some are going to be better than others. Mine isn't maxed out, but if it was, would probably be a lot better overall stat wise than even the old ancient gear. So I will give credit there, even though it was very confusing at the start as to why certain pieces will roll better and some won't. So yeah, in some respects this is an improvement. I will give credit there. Potential improvement anyway. And I've also noticed that on a lot of the new gears, you'll notice they've got sorry, the new gears will have a 12.5% starting point rather than the old gear, which is 25%, just so you can distinguish between the two. I don't know about all the other stats, but just for like attack and stuff like that. I have noticed that a lot of the substats seem like they roll better substats, like things you'd rather have in general. So the bonus means it's going to be a percentage, and if it doesn't say bonus, it's just going to be flat stat. So you'll see more often than not that a lot of them have bonus. Some good bonuses, so attack bonus, HP bonus. I've seen quite a few. I might be looking in the wrong place, but so there's 3 bonuses and 1 flat stat. I'd say 2 bonuses. I guess attack speed sort of is a good one. Defense not so good. So again, 3 out of 4, pretty good. So I'd say in that respect, it is again better. It seems easier to roll decent substats on them. However, there's going to be issues, and I'm going to show you why. So this is the new enhancement system which they came up with, which has caused a lot of frustration. We're on 11.21 at the moment. I don't know if it's just started 11.21, but we'll see. All the way up to 16, and we're just going to see how long this takes, basically. Maybe I'll get lucky. Also check out the money score at the top. So I was at 22k, 221.2. Turns out with it being random, it's obviously going to give you a big discrepancy on how much money is going to cost to max out an item, basically. So you're looking roughly anywhere between 500 and 500k and a million. We'll see what this one turns out as. I've mostly gone sort of towards the lower end of that scale, but I assume you could just go ridiculously infinite with it if it turned out really unfortunate for you. Yeah, so a failure system, which it doesn't tell you what your percentage chance is. It just makes you sit here and for obnoxiously. I mean, do I get any enjoyment from that? No. I don't like the system. I think everybody who's so far made a comment about it does not like the system. It feels like Raid Shadow Legends, and people said to quit Raid Shadow Legends because of this. It's not interesting. My main gripe with it is it just takes so much time. It takes so much time. Just look, I'm at what, 12 or 30. I've got 4 more to go and just fail. I've got to sit here and watch. Again, you're just not respecting players' time with stuff like this. It's the same issue as resetting tides and resetting other things, and we'll come to another issue in a minute. There has to be some sort of change as to where players' time is going, and I will tell you what I want to change for it, because at this moment you're making us sit through every single raid we've done all over again. The PvP, that's going to be another issue in a minute, which I'll bring up. Takes longer because you have to sit there and micromanage it. You can't auto run it anymore. Still failing. Yep, wonderful. So I'm at what, is that 400k gone now, and I'm still not even at the last one. 400k gone in, what was that 3 minutes or 2 minutes? Imagine doing this for multiple pieces of gear. Why do people want to sit here and watch this? Even if the stats are better overall. This isn't fun. This isn't fun, and this is not why I play this game. So I played the game mainly just due to the fun challenges that the levels set out for you. And unfortunately, once you complete all that challenges, there's just no new content coming out, which is fresh and engaging, which is where players want to put their time. They don't want to sit here and just watch this still going. Still, what's that? 600k gone. 600k gone in 4 minutes. You're literally just vanishing anywhere between 500k and a million in 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to do one piece of gear. Why did you think this was a good idea? I don't understand. I just don't understand it. It baffles me. Please just respect players' time. Nobody wants to sit in game like it's a job. They come for the fun challenges of the levels, not for this. And unfortunately, stuff like this is going to end up become a breaking point for so many players. Still going, yeah, this one's going to hit a million for sure. I've got 100k left in the bank before I hit to a million. Okay, 900k. 900k and what, 5 minutes? Exactly, pretty much. Just balmy. Absolutely balmy. Who thought this was a good idea? Okay, other problems with the gear system. Again, I don't know how people can't figure this out for themselves. Look at Gear Raid 1. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gear sets in Gear Raid 1. 12. The majority of them are absolutely useless. So, no one's ever going to use that. No one's ever going to use that. Maybe. No, because there's a better one. No, nobody's going to use that. Tanks will use that. Nobody's going to use that because there's a better one at the end. Oh, same one. Okay, so this is what most people already have, so they're not going to change it, because why would they sit through many attempts at Gear Raid getting crap just to get one good thing? So you got Arcane. Where's the other one? Arcane. Maybe Agility. Wrath. Twilight, I guess. People generally already have this set now. And Blessing. So you're looking roughly for 5 out of the 12 sets. Why are the other sets in there? They didn't do anything. Moving on to Gear Raid 2. Rage by attacks, +2. Just generally worse than the Rage auto regen, which I can't find. Okay, this one. This is adding 3 per second. This is only adding 2 per attack. And if you're attacking, what? Once every 2 seconds? You're getting just generally worse. So nobody wants that. Cost, nobody wants that. Shield strength, good for tanks. Penetration, another problem. I will go back to this in a minute. We still don't know what penetration does. Everybody just assumes it means you ignore 10% of the unit's armor. But why can't you just write a little tooltip? There was a tooltip thing in the patch notes. And I was like, finally, I'm going to find out what this stuff actually does. But it doesn't. For some reason, it didn't actually answer any of the questions about what certain things do in game. So we still don't know what penetration does. So unless someone wants to take abnormal amount of time testing every different set to see what works or how it differs, no one's ever going to know for sure. I don't understand this set. When dealing damage, increase damage by 1% for 2 seconds up to 15 stacks. So basically a 15% damage buff, which is the same as all of these other ones, like the sticks, but just permanent. And there's a single target one somewhere. I don't know which one it is, but permanent. How is this any better than the permanent buffs? It's worse. No one's going to use it. If you're going to make it so that stacks fall off super fast, it has to at least be double that. So it has to be like 2%, so you're getting more overall, but obviously with the jeopardy that if you're not attacking constantly, you lose the damage buff. It's just a rubbish set. This has been nerfed from the last one, so 8%. I actually like this set on my Salavic. Now that it's lost HP, percentage damage is worse, so it's probably not useful. And I'll just put Salavic in the same set I put everybody else in now. 100 attack speed. It's too hard to judge whether that's good or not, but for 3 seconds I'm going to say no. I'm just going to straight up say no, because that's that's almost 75% of the time you're not getting any bonus from your set whatsoever, so no, sucks. This one, base damage for AoE damage, pretty self-explanatory, and yeah, sure, good. Damage taken, tanks. Oh, wrong one. Damage dealt, yeah, probably worse than some of the others. This is my, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. This used to be the Infernal set, which was the best set in game. So you used to run Infernal boots with the Infernal set with the Piercer gloves for the best set in the game. And you basically broke it up and ruined it, because like you put the Infernal gloves, no, the Infernal boots and the Piercer gloves into the same set, so now you can't run them together anymore. So you literally just broke it, and you broke the best set in the game as well by putting it damage to enemies with shields for 20%. I don't even know what that means. I tried to use this on the guild boss yesterday, and I don't know if it means that sort of shield when he goes into his shield stage, if it actually means an actual shield you carry, if it means the shield on Guild Raid Boss 2, the ones which spin around him. Where's the tooltip telling me what it does? I don't understand what it does, why it's there, and why you had to ruin the best set in the game for this trash. I just don't understand it again. This has been nerfed, but pretty much the only good set for healers from what I can see. You've literally made nothing for healers. Every 5 attacks increase damage by 20% for 6 seconds. This is probably the best set out there, at least from what I can tell. Most units can get quite a low attack speed, so this will be up pretty much all the time. Decent enough. Increase damage. Okay, sure, if you get your rage regen fast enough that there's not too much downtime, but if there's downtime, it's pretty much useless. And okay, final one, no idea. No idea. I assume this is terrible, so 8 times the caster's level, your unit's going to be level 60. So 8 times 60, what's that? 60, 480, so you're going to do 480 additional damage. Well, it's just true damage. It doesn't tell you what it does again. I assume that just means it ignores all defenses. But 480 when your units can hit anywhere from 10k regularly to 100k is literally nothing. I'd have to test it to see if it actually does anything, but just from the description it sounds awful. So it's just a convoluted mess of what's going on. Essentially you're looking for like, what, 2 gear sets out of, what's that, 16 there? 2, maybe 3 gear sets from Gear Raid 2 and Gear Raid 3, and 5 from Gear Raid 1. I just don't understand why there's so much choice, and half of it's absolutely irrelevant. So yeah, I don't understand changes here. I don't understand the changes for this at all. But again, you've just reset everybody's progress, which means more time and effort to try and refigure out what's going on, what's useful, what's not. Players just don't want this sort of experience. They just don't want this experience. One positive. Okay, I'm going to move on because I'm just going around in circles now. Positive change. Thank you for actually fixing the summons and not just rigging it so that only 5 units dropped, 5 legendary units dropped. I've seen everything drop so far. Well, not everything, but a variety. And Zilla 2's dropped quite a lot. Unfortunately, not for me, but that's sometimes the way it rolls. I'm not going to cry about that. So thank you for actually fixing that. You never should have broken it in the first place. Players aren't stupid. Don't treat them like they are. We know what's going on. Anyway, positive. When you summon, that actually has quite a nice little picture that goes along with it, or screen that goes along with it. So that looks nice. The Oracle trial events looks nice, but one small gripe is you could swap between them whilst you're in the screen before, and now you can't. So you had to come out to go back into the next one, yada yada yada. So it would be nice. I mean, it's neither here or there. I can get round this one. It's not really an issue. So what are we missing now? Artifacts. Thank you for changing the artifacts that were useless. So where is it? Never Messenger. Whatever it was before was absolute pointless. Now it's actually a good set. I would argue as well that pretty much all of them are good sets now, except for it's just too niche. It's just too niche, and it doesn't work on guild boss as far as I can see. I don't understand why you can't debuff the guild boss. Like units like Elka would have been amazing in it, just helping everybody out. Obviously, if you can't debuff him, then you can't bleed, which makes this completely irrelevant for Salazar. So it's just a little bit too niche, but that's a nice change. The Ajax one is a nice change. So it was literally just for... I'm not going to call him Ajax. It was just because I don't understand why they changed names for everything. I legit don't understand why. There was no need for it. Nobody asked for it. But at least this now you can use it on anyone and not just Douglas. Lifesteal, I do not understand the point of it, but whatever. I've still got a good one I can use instead. The change to that, no, not that one. That one's good. I like that one. I like that one a lot, so that's a good change. So artifacts, the changes to the artifacts are good. Trying to get the artifacts is not good. It wasn't good before and it's not good now. It just takes... It's just so random. Like, again, you go there, you do your raids, you come in here, you check out your artifacts. You have to get... Where's the button? Where's the button? There's a button here somewhere. I've lost the button. What am I doing? Where's the button? Where's the forge button? Oh, I have to go in there to... See, why is that not just on the main screen? So you get, what, a 20% chance to get a random mythic from 400. So if you get 400 of them, I don't know how long that would take to farm. Yeah, I can't say. It's still a very quick raid, so at least it's easy in that respect. And you're getting what, 2 to 10 per run, probably average of about 5 per run, I guess. So 100 runs would likely get you two mythic artifacts, so I guess that's a lot better, because it was literally probably in the thousands to get a single mythic artifact before. Thousands of runs. So I'll give credit where due, that's probably better. But it's still random, you don't know what you're getting. There's no choice. So you might just be getting things you don't want, like the Blood Drinker. When just Never Messenger is just objectively better for everybody. So some positive, some negative. I can't really say one way or the other. If that's a overall positive or overall negative. Anyway. So, yeah, some good, some bad. Moving on to PvP. PvP, just, again, you've made it so time consuming. I'll just run through one and see how long this one takes. What are we on? 11:40. I have to micromanage this the whole time. There's no auto, but well, there's an auto button, but you press the auto button, it doesn't put any of your units out. It doesn't help you in that respect. You still had to put your units out, and it takes a long time to run through each one of these. You're doing it 10 times, from if you're pretty high in the tide like I am. Yeah, if you're pretty high in the tide like I am, then it's just pointless, man. It takes so long. To have to sit here and micromanage every single one of these. Oops, well that's not good. Whatever. Anyway, so problems I have with the PvP. So the new PvP system, it pretty much, so essentially you're going to go through different rounds, and every round you win or you lose. If you lose, you get a 20% damage debuff for the next round. So you're pretty much heavily, very, very heavily incentivized to win every single round. It's not necessary, but you're clearly very heavily incentivized to do that. One of my issues is it was advertised as dynamic, and I'm not sure why it's dynamic. It very much made it sound like you could put units in, take units out whenever you wanted to. You can't do that. If you take a unit out, they go on 60-second cooldown, so they're basically useless for a minute. Which I found out the hard way yesterday. Which does not make this dynamic. You basically want to set up your team however you want to set it up, and then just leave it to do whatever it does. And hope you do it faster than the enemy. So yeah, it's a bit of an issue. It's basically just a racing stage. So my problem is, because of having a cost value involved in it now, it literally, I can't speak for everyone, this is only the second of three versions I've done, but it pretty much makes it so that like 80 to 90% of your roster is just useless at this point. So good units you would have used before, people like Greed, who are absolutely amazing for it, are pretty much pointless because they just cost too much to get out. If you wanted them out as your first unit, you're looking at losing at least 3-4 rounds before you even get them out. So it literally incentivises you to go for the lowest cost units possible at the cost of everybody else. As you can see, who's he put out? Low cost units, basically 4 very low cost units. I've just placed better than him. But I've seen people using Greed. You can't use melee. Obviously you can't use melee in this one, but you can't use melee in the other one, because if you put a melee down, they need a healer to make sure they don't die. And it just costs too much. If you put Elka down, she will die very quickly as well. She'll die very quickly, so she costs 14 if you've got a max awaken. And then you need a healer, 17 generally for a healer, so that's 31 cost. You could get three cheap range units for the same cost. It literally just blocks out not 80% of your roster and makes you just use essentially the team I've used for everything, at least for these two. I can't speak for the final one yet. But again, it's just another time-consuming issue. So I think it's just the main issue that I think everybody has. I mean, there's two main issues. It's just the overall timing game. It's just getting obnoxious at this point. You want people to sit through every single raid that they've completed many times before. You want them to sit there. Oh, how long did that take? I can't remember. You'd have to check. I can't remember what time we started that. Was that 5 minutes for one PvP as well? So it's 5 minutes per PvP, 5 minutes per gear up. Every single raid you got to sit through. Some of them are obnoxiously long, like the Insignia Mages. There just needs to be a skip button somewhere. And I've thought about this because giving a skip button obviously has the downside that people in Oracle events, there's going to be some goblin out there who will just sit and spawn camp the Oracle event. In the last 5 minutes they just spam a bunch of auto skip wins to basically win the event. There's bound to be someone out there that can do that. That is the downside. The positive side to that is that I think they would run out of pots and auto runs very fast if they try to do that. If you get two people doing that, egging each other on, which often happens in this situation, sooner or later they're just literally going to run out of pots or auto runs, and it won't be able to do it anymore. So my suggestion is to please give a skip button to raids. There's no need for me to run this same raid every day at, well, I don't know, 3 minutes a time, 2 minutes a time, multiple times, over and over and over again when I've already done it. It's just no need. So there's just something that's got to give with time commitment required for things, and I think the easiest way to fix it with your current system is just to put skips in for raids people already cleared. I think it would be very appreciated, and if it causes a problem in Oracle Trial, which I don't think it will, because if people try and do it, they will run out of autos and stamina pots very fast. So I don't think it's a very good long-term suggestion for people to be basically running auto to try and win Oracle events just by sitting on the spawn at the end of the event and just bashing off a ton of things every time just to win it. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think overall it's a positive change, and there has to be at least some give somewhere with the amount of time involved in this game. Oh yeah, also including time, before I forget, other problem, the hero up system. I don't understand. It's such a terrible system in the first place, but you broke it anyway, so it's fine at this level. Well, it's not fine, it's not right, but at least it works as intended. So you click the button, yeah, and it makes it quick and semi-easy at least. The problem comes though, so I've just invested what, 1,800 EXP into this one. Go to the next one. There isn't a single white unit I can use first, except for at the bottom. It will always take the green unit as the starting base and use white units as fodder. But I don't want it to do that because I've already invested 1,800 EXP into this unit. I want it to be the other way around. The unit with the higher EXP should be the starting point, and the units with no XP added into them. I'm wasting 3,600 EXP every single time I use this button, or I have to sit there and manually do it. Oh, went too far. Or I have to sit there and manually do it myself. Find the right unit. Where are they? All the way up here. No, somewhere up here. Find the right unit. Upgrade. Star up. I have to manually do it myself, which saves no time at all. It's so long and laborious and just pointless. I don't understand it. And then you get to 3-star version, upgrade, and it completely goes out the window because you don't get a choice. Oh no, where's that? I've gone with the wrong unit. Sorry. Oh. Messing things up. There we go. Star up. Quick star up. I was looking here. So literally, you don't get a choice. You don't get a choice of the green ones. You don't get a choice of the white ones, which you want to use as fodder. You just don't get a choice. And if you do, it's going to use blue units as fodder anyway. What's the point? Anyway, it's a terrible system to start with. I'll show you what the system should be like. I don't know why they're at the top now. What the hell just happened? Anyway. So, pick a unit you want. Any unit. It doesn't matter. What it should be. What it should be. Star up. Quick add. So I shouldn't have to go through the process of making all of these quick add units 4-star. There should be a button that just... when you come in here, you level up to 40 or whatever your cap is. You go in here, and then there should be a button here that says max to, or what's it called? Level, star up this character. That's what it's called. There should be a button that says star up this character, and next to that button there should be an option button, and in the option button it should let you choose what you use as fodder to start up this unit. So you've got, say, a ton of level 1 greys and level 10 or level 1 greens. It should give you a button, and you should be able to say, I want to use all my greys and all my greens, and that's it, to star up my button, to start up my unit. You press the button and it should do it all automatically for you in one button click. It's just completely unnecessary for me to have to level up every single unit individually to get to this point. Again, it's another massive time consuming effort to get to this point. I do a little bit every day just so it doesn't add up, because if you let it add up, it's just so obnoxiously long to do. Please make it easier. Please make something along the way easier when it comes to time consuming in this game. Anyway, I'm going to move on from this point. The last point I want to make is, please stop reworking things. Please stop messing with gear. I mean, if you want to get rid of some of the trash gear, I'm okay with it, like stuff like this. Just unnecessary bloat for no reason whatsoever. But please just stop messing with what we've got and just add new content. That's what players come for. I had so much fun clearing Artifact Raid 18 and clearing Pantheon 8. These were so much fun to me, but we're still stuck on the same Pantheon raid at the moment, which we've had for months now. Look how many things I've got. I've got 1800. There's so many runs to get that many. Why is there not another Pantheon yet? Why are there not new modes? Why is there not like a tower mode where it just endlessly grind for higher levels? I just don't understand it. You need to add new interesting content and stop resetting and messing with what we've got and generally just making it worse. Anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. I hope I've clarified most people's issues on what's gone wrong in this patch and what needs to happen in the future for this game to actually be worth playing long term. Because at the moment I've literally got nothing to do other than refarm gear to try and improve my units yet again. Beyond that, I don't know, I've cleared everything. I've cleared the campaign. Well, ignore hard. I can clear that. I've cleared expert all the way. Cleared all the raids. At some point I'll get to the top of ties. That's just BP based anyway, so it's irrelevant. Please add new content to the game. New, fun, interesting, challenging content that keeps people engaged and interested. That's what people come and play for, not for the crappy level up systems and all the other jazz that goes along with just bloating this game beyond belief. Please add a skip button, or at least find some way to remove some of the bloat from game where players have to spend so much time in game to get anywhere. It's not engaging. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.